Hello everyone, Mike Hayes here again. For this match, we're bringing you Scotch pairs. So we've got Mick Hill and Shayden Mckenzie taking on Adam Lilley and Simon Singleton. So yeah, really cool to get to see a Scotch pairs match in the mix as well. Always interesting with the alternate shot and pairs, just seeing how well the boys can gel together. And definitely keeping an eye on Shayden and Mick today. As I might have touched on earlier, we had the coaching session with Mick Hill this afternoon, which Shayden was at as well, and Mick had a couple of pointers for Shayden for their pairs match tonight. So yeah, it'd be interesting just keeping an eye out to see if if Shayden picks up those pointers from Mick and see if he can apply them tonight. But no, it should be a fantastic match anyway. So just trying to work out who's at the table here first. Sorry, we obviously had a dry break by the looks, and Adam Lilley has stepped to the table and potted a red to establish the set. So Simon and Adam with the first crack here on the reds, although not sure about that first shot. Unfortunately, running that red down the centre of the table, parked up on the yellow, killing that one. So still a shot for Simon here. He can take this red either to the centre or the corner. Looks like he's going to take it to the centre and screw into the bottom rail. And it's a nicely played shot to get on that red early. So what they're just looking at here is just looking at the angle they want to have on the red to the left to come back down the table. I'm assuming they'll be looking to play the split as they come back down. I can't quite tell if, basically, we've got this red that's against the yellow at the centre of the table, and I can't quite tell if it goes to the bottom left corner. So if not, I suspect they'll be looking for the wee cannon on that as they come back up this end of the table. So all about getting as close to possible as to the natural angle on this one. A little bit short. I think the angle's definitely still there to work, so they might just have to apply a trace of right-hand side, but I think it was me. I'd be looking to come back and see if we can develop that red-yellow here. So I wonder if perhaps if they were actually trying to land on the gap to the red into the bottom right corner, then they could have played that into the corner, screwing back into that yellow and red, kicking the red out into the centre of the table. So that probably would have been a nicer option for developing the red, I guess going the way I initially said, running the risk of kicking the yellow into the corner. So either way, they haven't got the position, so they're going to have to reset. Nicely played cut, and he's trying to get that gap. Has he got the gap? I think he's got it perfect. So as discussed, probably the better way to play the split on the red and the yellow is actually coming from the underside here, kicking the red out towards the centre of the table. So ideally, he'll be wanting to play this with maybe a little bit of stun left and try and catch that yellow half ball, opening things out. Can he execute? Oh, so he's missed the pot and the split. He's just gotten into that far too much. And to be fair, I think it's the fact that he's caught the object ball far too thick, and that's caused, obviously he's missed the pot, and that's caused him to miss the cannon as well. So thought they'd done well to give themselves a chance there, but unfortunately can't take it. So hand it over to Mick and Shayden. Suspect Mick will be largely calling the shots and hoping for Shayden to sort of fit in with that, but we'll see. I'm not sure if he's going to look to develop that yellow here, just punch out into the red. So the yellow must pass between the red and the black into the opposite corner, which is why I suspect he's trying to hold there for that one. Let's just come back a little bit far, leaving the cut slightly wider, but shouldn't pose too much issue for Mick. Oh, he's played that nicely. Love the gentle screw on that shot as well, showing how even at a very soft shot, at a very slow pace with soft hands, you can still generate a nice amount of backspin to manipulate the cue ball. Yeah, nicely done for Shayden. I wondered if he'd gotten into that slightly too much at first, but looks absolutely perfect now. I think Mick will just look to run through a couple of inches, leave a nice angle. Yeah, I think the key here on this next shot, don't try and do too much. Don't have to flirt with that middle pocket. Anywhere down that rail will do. What has he done there? I wonder if he was almost trying to cannon into that yellow, flick it closer to the corner. Not the shot. Ooh. I still fancied him on that one, but I was kind of waiting to see if that yellow might just tail in. He sort of started it sort of a few mil off the rail and just held its line all the way down in the end. So chance back to Simon and Adam. They might not have expected to get this one, but sitting here nicely now. Doesn't have to do much with this at all. The cube will naturally track back up past the black. Oh, interesting. I wonder if he was a wee bit scared about trying to hold it. He's tried to take the second rail, but in the process he's got a wee bit tight and missed the pot. So both teams blowing a fantastic chance to take this early frame. So second bite at it here for Shayden and Mick. Yeah, again, not a fantastic shot. He's left this much longer and trickier than he would have liked. Shot's definitely still there though, and it would definitely pick a player of mixed class to make this one, but definitely not a gimme either. Oh wow, and you look at that. So he's played a good cue ball, and I'm not sure if he's deliberately played that two-way, but he's gotten away with that a wee bit. So this first frame taking an interesting turn. What looked like I guess yeah, like I said before, both pairs had a fantastic chance to finish it early and neither could take it. And yeah, I'm really not sure what he's done on that one as well. I would have thought the shot was to catch it fine and just run the cue ball, sort of cover the pocket, run the cue ball back up to the kitchen and snooker Mick, but he hasn't. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was going for. Well, these guys are making my job tough at the moment, folks. I'm not quite sure what to call on that one. I think he's gone for the fine cut and missed it by a wide margin. So I think at this point we just need someone to put this frame to bed. And he's overscrewed that one by a mile. Crazy scenes here. One good pot. Can he make it? Oh, and that's cued beautifully. Beautiful cueing. This frame just needed someone to just step up and show a little bit of composure and put the ball in the pocket, and Simon has been the one to do that, and a nice follow-up from Adam. Geez, I almost wondered for half a second if he was running that cue ball a wee bit close to that back corner, but no, he's got the job done. So after that first frame taking an interesting turn, that's Adam and Simon getting the point on the board. So 1-0 lead to the Team New Zealand boys over Mick and Shayden. So I'm just not 100% sure here if we're looking at alternate break or winner breaks. I wonder with the shorter race if it will be alternate. To be honest, I'm not even sure who broke the first frame, so either way, Adam's breaking off here. Can he make a ball? Interesting, and so another dry break. Tricky layout this one as well, if I'm honest. A bit of a cluster of yellows and red around the right centre pocket, and the main one we've got is the black ball sort of down this bottom right corner of the table as we look at it, obstructing things as well. So I think for me, I would definitely prefer the reds. I like this. We've got the sort of red down the bottom right of the table, and yeah, Mick's pointing exactly that now. That red goes off the black and opens that pocket. I'm not sure, so I'm thinking he'll take this red to the... Yep. I think this one Shayden's looking at is the ball to establish the set. I wonder if he'll just drop it in, hold for the red on the rail next. Is that red to the bottom left still on? Or has he just slipped in behind that yellow? Tell you what, he might have just slipped behind that yellow because Mick's looking at the red to the middle now, although he could be looking at it either way. That red that he's lining up now, this could be their biggest problem ball. So I wonder if he was actually just looking to nick the yellow a little bit as well, just to open up the pocket for the red. I think he was, because he looks a little bit disappointed with that shot. Obviously, it's all still there. Shayden just trying to work out the best way. I think he'll be looking to head back up the table here. So he's just overhit it a wee bit again. So just battling a little bit at the start of this match, Shayden, and no doubt playing alongside someone like Mick is bound to add some serious pressure. I mean, it's one thing playing against someone like that, but I think you could argue it'd almost be tougher playing with them on your side. You just feel like any mistake you're going to do is just going to be holding them back. So yeah, I imagine it's not as easy as you think. You'd think having an amazing player on your side would only make things easier, but I'm sure mentally it has its challenges as well. Simon having a wee bit of a laugh there, but he's taken on the tricky yellow down to the bottom left corner. Oh, he's made both. Didn't even see the two-way shot. I think he wanted to hold that one, but not a bad shot anyway. So the tricky stuff for Adam and Simon is looking back down top of the table, bottom of the screen as we look. A little bit hard to tell. The yellow that's covered by the black might still be able to pot that yellow off the rail and into the black into the corner. So he might have screwed across for that now. So I think he must have, because he hasn't left anything else fantastic. So it looks like they're going for this one now. Possibly thinking that even if it's not on, it's not the worst leave. Covering the pocket when you're tying up the black's a lot more valuable than trying to cover one of your opponent's balls with yours as well. So not sure if that's where they're at tactically, or if this might just be on and they're going for the finish. Yeah, so he's definitely planning to pot that, but not the worst leave, even though if you can make the reds, getting on that black could be problematic. They will have to look to take one of those reds and ideally make the yellow as well. So I wonder if he might stun over onto this other red at this end of the table. Interesting. So yeah, he hasn't even gone for the pot. It's purely just gone to clear that pocket and leave a tricky shot on the yellows. So great example there of knowing these rules a wee bit better than some of us do over here. And you can see there, a very simple shot in the end, and has definitely changed the complexion of the frame. Adam does have a shot, so it looks like he might, if he can catch this yellow fine enough, it might have a chance of going off that red into the middle pocket. The only difficult thing is going to be getting the pace on the ball. Obviously, as soon as that yellow, you're cutting it fine to begin with, which means the yellow's coming off a wee bit slow, and then hitting that red's going to kill the pace even further. So we've definitely got a quick slick table, which could bring that shot back on, but yeah, the hampered queuing with queuing right out the jaws of the pocket always makes it tricky to play a power shot as well. So I wonder if he'll go for that, or if he's just going to take it fine to the left centre. Oh, so he's gotten away with that. Wow. So yeah, I think he did take the better percentage shot looking at that left centre pocket in the end. Missed it by a wee bit, but come out pretty good. Dropped in the far corner, and they've got a chance now. So obviously he's probably going to have to take this one to the centre. The other option would be going to the top corner for the posse on the yellow, but makes for a tough pot. Oh, he's gone for it. Has it got there? It's a good effort. However, even though it's a wee bit of a tough leave, if Shayden can drop this one in, not a bad look on red still. Wonder what Mick might be suggesting is, rather than taking on the pot to the middle that is missable, they could just play the combo onto the yellow now, pot the yellow, run the cue ball up the other end of the table, and just cut off yellows. So I must admit, not the shot that I saw at first glance, but after having a second look, and I think that's what Mick's pointing out, is that, yeah, you really don't need to force the issue here. Much easier to just take away that yellow over the top corner, and potentially, if he can drift the white over far enough, might even snooker them. So yeah, he would have probably preferred to travel the cue ball a little bit further, but at the same time, basically left an almost impossible out on yellows, and the reds are looking much easier now as well. So again, good knowledge and experience from Mick, and hard to argue with that shot selection there. And so basically, when you play a shot like that, the only thing that could go wrong is they knock in the long double, and the long double is low percentage. So you feel like, geez, more often than not, you're going to win from there. But tell you what, players of this caliber, they can knock those in, and Adam nearly did it. So good long pot for Mick to get going. Definitely makes the run out a lot easier from there now. Taking the tough one on early. It was pretty safe if he missed as well, and now he's left a few shots in a row. And I must admit, Shayden guilty of overplaying a little bit again there. He didn't need to do much more than drop that one in and would have left it straight, and he's forced Mick to play a little bit more of a shot than he would have wanted, but no problems. It's still sitting there nice and easy. Now, I can understand it a wee bit as well from Shayden. Like I know myself, when you get these moments in the spotlight and you've got the crowd watching everything, you want to be able to play your shots and get the crowd buzzing and stuff like that. And it's a tricky thing getting the balance right in top level pool, really, because the art of being incredibly effective is often about keeping it as simple as possible and not having to play the flashy shots. But I know what it's like when you're in the limelight there and everyone's watching. You want to give them something to cheer about. So just got to try and find that balance. And at the end of the day, they've got the frame back on the board. So 1-1 in this race to 3, anybody's game. So I'm still no closer to working out if it's winner breaks or alternate breaks. In either case, it would have been Shayden and Mick to break. So third frame underway. Will we get a ball this time? We do. So after the first 2 breaks being dry, nice to see a ball potted. Would love to see him break and run here. Both sets looking relatively open. Probably a better starter on the reds. Yep, that's what he's going for. Yeah, nicely controlled as well. So he's used that yellow to kill the cue ball, leaving multiple options, and he's buried the yellow on that bottom rail. So just wondering which way they'll go about this here. I think they've got the red down in the bulk area, which is probably the only one to really be careful about how they navigate. Obviously, this red they're pointing at the moment. I guess the trap with this one is does have to navigate some traffic, but plus side is make this one early and you don't have to come back and navigate that traffic again later. So yeah, nicely done to hit the gap. That's one of their potentially problem balls down. And I think the good thing with that red down the bottom end of the table is there is also a red coming back to the middle afterwards, so that strings into the rest of the bunch quite nicely. It's just probably working out what is the best ball to use to get down there for that red. And so, he's got down there early. And so it's just been a standout feature of mixed shot selection so far, is just looking to identify and eliminate problems as early as possible, basically then taking all the pressure off, or, trying to simplify the finish from there. He's doing a fantastic job of it so far. So red sort of underneath the black, closest to us as we look at it. That's the one they do need to be careful a little bit navigating. I wonder if he might just draw back a tiny bit. He's played that sort of two-way, knowing if he got his angle wrong, the other one would still be there. I wonder if they might look to go to the one into the middle, stun the cue ball down past the black spot, leaving the red back to the middle. I can't quite tell if this is straight enough to screw back the same side of the black, then that's probably the shot. And must go to the corner. So I'm guilty with my angle of thinking that didn't pass the yellow and he only had to go to the middle. Much simpler. Too easy. So break and run for the boys, Shayden and Mick, and they take a 2-1 lead. And yeah, as we explained, that that frame was made to look very easy by just picking out those two tricky balls. Basically, I think within the first three shots, the two tricky, potentially banana peel balls were eliminated, and they had a nice straightforward run out from there. Yeah, it was really, really fantastic to get the opportunity to do the extended coaching clinic with Mick this afternoon. Obviously, with a relatively high caliber group we were doing the lesson with, we were able to sort of focus on some pretty elite end sort of table reading, shot selection stuff. Yeah, it was fascinating to get to pick Mick's brain and all of that, and really nice for me now to get the opportunity to sort of watch it in action straight after having that conversation about it, and try and get to spot out some of the things he was talking about in match situations. So finally, we have worked out it is alternate break. Mick and Shayden took that last frame, but Simon and Adam have broken, and they have definitely made balls this time. So all the balls that were lacking those first two racks, they've made up for it with 3 reds here. I don't know if they're going to be taking reds. It looks like even though we've got 3 reds down, they're going to be going yellow balls. So potentially looking at an 11 ball clearance if they can run this out. The only thing you've got to be a little bit wary of here on the yellows is pretty much that red that's in the dead centre of that table. That spot that red is sitting in, you'd love to have the cue ball in and around there for the majority of these shots. So I think that's just going to be the one thing they're just going to have to be a little bit wary of. And quite nicely though, looks like they can probably go either ball into the middle. They'll probably go right centre. Alright, so yeah, they're going to go to the corner first and then do the middle balls. And obviously I think the yellow that's next to the black, that's the one you want to play last. So if that's the one you're playing last, you probably want to use, the yellow to the left side to get on it. And it was a wee bit hard to tell from this angle if the red was covering that pocket by much, but they obviously don't look too worried. Interesting strike on that one from Simon. He's just played that slightly draggy and allowed it to run through a touch. I'm not sure if it felt like just a straight stun would have done the job, but either way, equally effective. And Adam's done nice to clear the red there. It's pretty much the only way that shot there was going to go wrong, is if you end up with that white sort of wedged on the red. He's done well to find the gap, and a nice return of serve with the break and run. Pretty sure that makes it 2-all. Race to 3. So Hill, final frame. We've got Mick and Shayden to break with the first opportunity to take out this match. Can they do it? So it looks like we've got Shayden to break. This break is massive. The level we're seeing on display here, you kind of feel that if he makes a ball, they'll probably clear, and if he dry breaks, that Adam and Simon will probably clear. So, and he has scratched. Will that be costly? A little bit of saving grace might just be a couple of little obstacles up the top end of the table. I can see this angle Simon's looking at, so I think they clearly fancy the reds, and if he can pot that red that's on the top rail from that spot where he had his Q-tip, they've got a natural angle to kiss that yellow off the other red. So I definitely think it's going to be much easier approaching reds and trying to achieve that than anything you can do with yellows. Trying to develop the yellows at that same end of the table it's just not the obvious natural angles to do so. So I think initially with this ball in hand, those 3 reds that are in triangle around the bulk line, they'll be looking to open those up early, because those balls like that, when they're close together, they've got the potential to all get in each other's way. So the sooner they can chip off 1 or 2 of those, the better. And then, I suspect they'll want to get down quite soon after that and look to play that split early. And the reason you always want to play those potential splits early is that on the worst case scenario that it does go wrong, maybe you make the ball and miss the split, you've at least still got other options on the table to have another crack at it. And yeah, the more balls you've got on the table, the better chance you've got of having a second option. So wouldn't be surprised if they look to go down and get on that split now rather than coming back for it. Nope, not the case. So I wonder if they just wanted to get this last of the three reds. I wonder if he's come too far. If he can still screw down into that angle, but just has to be careful he doesn't lose the cue ball. Pull up. Oh, I can't quite tell if that's overrun. I think it might just be good. Might have gone too far. Might have left himself a little bit thin on that red. If it's still on, I think he'll just want to play a trace of right. He really doesn't want to cannon into the red and the yellow, I don't think. I think he'd much rather just hit the yellow. So from this point, all the balls are cleared, and it's largely going to come down to which one do you want to use to get on the black. Interesting. I think they wanted to set for the one to the corner next, but I think he was hoping the cue ball was going to open up on a slightly wider angle. He can definitely still cut this in, but can he hold the cue ball, or will he have to travel all the way around? Oh, so it was much thinner than I realised. So he was able to use that yellow to kill the cue ball. Now, is that black onto the corner? That's the $1 million question here. I think with the red over the middle bucket where it is, you've got a myriad of options in terms of how you can navigate the cue ball to get back on that black. So what will they do? I'm looking at the double, which tells me maybe the cut's not on. So to get back to that position, I'm not sure if he can cheat the pocket enough to screw it back or if he'll have to run it. Oh, what a shot, what a shot. I was just wondering, just as he was queuing up to that, if there was a good natural angle to screw into that black and yellow, and wow, he's played it nicely. Oh, I thought he had hung the black. Wow, imagine that. So, yeah, fantastic win for Simon and Adam there. The match was tit for tat. There'd been a break and clear each way in the frames before that, and so nice, always nice when it takes a little moment of magic and a nice shot from Simon there to take out the frame.